Hi, I'm Barry Ostrowski. At RWJ Barnabas Health, we believe that everyone needs to be informed about the important healthcare issues affecting their lives. That's why we're proud to support the important educational programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Delta Dental of New Jersey. Everyone deserves a healthy smile. The Fidelco Group, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. PSC&G, committed to providing safe, reliable energy now and in the future. NJM Insurance Group. And by Kessler Foundation, changing the lives of people with disabilities. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. And by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are, there is always something to learn.
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No.
People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Hi, this is Steve Adubato. This, in fact, is the after party, if you will, the after event, the 22nd annual Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award. This event is something I've been a part of from day one. It is extraordinary. The people you're about to meet are the honorees we recognize this year, 11 honorees. Past honorees who've come back to talk about the difference that they continue to make, how their organizations have grown, how they've partnered with others to try to have a greater impact. The whole idea, the whole concept behind this is making a difference. That's what our late great friend Russ Berrie taught us a long time ago when these awards were created. Angelica Berrie, the president of the Russ Berrie Foundation, you'll see her in this special as well. That's what she talks about. She talks about having a ripple effect, making a difference. These people are amazing. They've come through so much to give back to others. I'm confident that your view of the world, your view of people will be changed in what you're about to see right now. All right, check this out. This is Edrick Alleyne, who is from Eatontown, New Jersey, and it's interesting. A lot of people here, Edrick, run organizations, not-for-profits. They're recognized by the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award committee. Your story's a little bit different. You're down at the Jersey Shore. Tell us what happens.
Down at the Jersey Shore, Friday night, take the kids to the park. Usually we get dinner, go for ice cream at the lighthouse, hanging out at the park. Somebody ran up, a guy ran up, said, my nephew.
It's in the ocean.
Yes, absolutely, nephew in the ocean. And we're thinking it's, a little kid because you only can see the person's head. So I run down to the beach. It's about maybe like 15 people down there, and he's floating out. He's going out further and further and further. So at first I tried to jump in, and then I got hit by the wave. Then I said to myself, I seen the current, and I seen how like it was a rip current. You can see I was pulling him, and he was ducking the waves. So I went in. I got hit with the wave. Then I followed him because he was drifting. As he was drifting, I followed him, and then I told him ride the wave because he was about maybe like 60 yards out.
Did he hear you?
Yeah, because I was screaming. I was like at the top.
You were alone. You're the only one who went in. I just want to be clear. You're the only one who went in.
Yes, only person that went in. And then I told him to ride the waves because he was ducking them because he was exhausted, so he didn't know what to do. And I told him, no, ride the waves. He got about 30, 35 yards in, and then I ran out. I went in and I grabbed him because he couldn't swim anymore or anything like that. Went in, grabbed him, put him on my hip, put my arm around him, and then I started to ride the waves in and swim with the one arm that I had and brought him to the shore.
Couple things. First, by the way, you got out of there. You didn't get a chance to really connect with him after, from what I hear. But the first question is, why did you go in when many, and I don't know what I would have done, I don't know what you would have done, why did you jump in?
I mean, it's a sign from God. Sometimes he just tells you to do things and you do it. There was no, I seen him, nobody else went to go in the water, so I went in the water. And I knew I had to do something because at the end of the day, if my son or if a family member of mine who's out there in the ocean and they can't get back to the shore, I want somebody to go out there and hopefully help them out or figure out a way to get that person back to the shoreline.
You saved his life. When did you hook up with him later, connect with him?
Actually, an article was put out in the Asbury Park Press looking for me because I was more concerned. I saved them, and then I was like, the kids got to eat. The kids got to eat.
Your kid?
Yeah, and I got the kids got to get the pizza. We got to get home. They got to go to bed.
Talk about multitasking.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
So the guy doesn't know you. You don't know the guy. They don't even know it was you.
Yeah, absolutely. So an article was put out in the Asbury Park Press. I believe it's like front page, and as I'm going through the day, my girlfriend, she contacts me. She says, he's looking for you. And I'm like, who's looking for me? I'm like, what did I do? She's like, he's looking for you, the guy you saved. And then, he had an email address, contacting him, and then that's how we got together, and we met each other and spoke, and he thanked me.
What was it like?
At the end of the day, you just realize that you're here for a bigger purpose. And that was my bigger purpose, and I realized that. And you look at life at a totally different manner and perspective.
You didn't do it to get an award, but you're being recognized today by the Russ Berrie Foundation. What does it mean to you?
I mean, it's a lot. It's humbling. It's humbling. I just want people to know, first of all, watch out. Do not go in that ocean, especially when there's no lifeguards or things like that. But to me, it's just, that we just have to help each other. No matter race, religion, color, doesn't matter anything of that nature. We must help each other when we need each other.
And you see someone in trouble, you say, well, I expect somebody else to do it. You say?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, no, if you say, wait, I think someone else will do it, what do you say to the people who say that?
You got to you got to sometimes take the risk. You never know.
Yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You did it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, folks. Steve Adubato here at the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award ceremony. 22 years this has been going on, and it's my honor to introduce Toba Grossbaum of Livingston, New Jersey, an organization called Friendship Circle of New Jersey, which is?
It's an organization to help out families who have kids with special needs.
Why did you start it?
So we started this back 18 years ago to help out what we thought would just be a few families, and little did we know, it just grew way beyond anything we ever imagined. So,
what are these families dealing with, Toba?
These families deal with so much, just the everyday things we take for granted, and if we could be there just to help them a little bit, how could we not?
Let's break this down a little bit. You're talking about, by the way, more than 6,500 teens have participated as mentors, or explain this to us.
Yeah, so we started off with just about 40 volunteers, which we thought was amazing back then, just to go visit kids in their home, offer respite, provide some weekend respite. And before we knew it, the need was so great. There was just so many families that we began to reach out to more teenagers. And people really felt like they could make a difference. And before we knew it, it just kept growing. More kids, more volunteers. And over the years, over 6,000 teenagers have volunteered for us.
We're honoring New Jersey heroes. And everyone I've talked to says, of course, I'm not a hero. And you say?
I say the same thing. It's the volunteers, it's the parents that are the heroes. They entrust us with their children, which is incredible.
But you're the leader who brings them together.
So we're the organizer, we're the coordinator, but yet it's all those magical volunteers that really are there to be there for the kids.
What does this award mean to you?
This means the world to us. Obviously this is our passion, but to see the community behind it is a gift.
We thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you for the honor.
You see, you come here and you run into some of the great past honorees. Chip, let folks know the name of your organization, and we'll talk a little bit about the award you won a couple years ago.
Sure, it's America's Grow-A-Row, based out of Pittstown.
You won the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award. What year?
2010.
How much difference did it make?
Oh, huge difference. If I reflect back in terms of the size of the organization and the impact that we're making, it's enormous where we are now versus then because of really what came out of this award.
Some examples as to those changes?
Well, I think a lot of it's the networking, it's the public relations, it's all that really helps us expose our program to the masses in terms of volunteer support, financial support, and really highlighting the issue of hunger, which is a hidden, silent issue that exists all throughout the state.
Tell folks just a little bit more about Grow-A-Row. What exactly do you do?
So our program, we have 9,000 volunteers that help us to plant and harvest produce and distribute it. We give away 1.5 million pounds a year to those who are in need and hunger relief agencies. And we also have 1,000 underserved youth a year that come out so they can harvest produce for their families and communities and learn where their food comes from.
You know, when I first met you, Chip, I can't believe it's 8 years ago. We talked about why you do what you do, and we talked about people who say, well, I can't make a difference. What do you say to them watching right now 8 years later?
Everyone has a passion, and there's a purpose out there for everyone's passion that you can leverage and help others in need. I was very fortunate. We had a garden. It was a little 30 by 30 foot garden. My daughter and I, it was a little project. We had extra produce, but then we saw that there was a purpose. There was a 3-line article in the paper. It said, bring produce to the food pantry.
That's how it started.
That's it. And so now, you know, we've given away over 8 million pounds since we started the program, and the need is great, and we're just trying to keep on pedaling to, you know, serve those who need it.
What do you say to the awardees this year?
I would say, look, keep following that passion. You know, like I said, there's a purpose that you have. You've started it. Don't stop. And the ripple effect is enormous. So
Angelica Berry talks about the ripple effect all the time.
she's all about that, and that's the reality. This whole event is a ripple effect. People that have coming here might not have sparked that interest to get back yet. This might be their way of kind of dipping their toe in the water. They walk away and start their own project. Countless people could be helped just because of that. So,
even though they're being honored today as winners, with the Making a Difference Award, in some ways it's a beginning.
Very much. It might be the way to kind of inspire them to continue their service. It might be the beginning in terms of making a connection with someone in the room.
A lot of networking goes on here.
Yeah, you know, look, we're all about collaborative efforts. We're not on this alone. People ask if Grow Road's the solution. No, absolutely not. We're part of the solution. So if they bolt together with another group that is like-minded in terms of mission and scope, hey, that's great.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
My name is Reverend Mildred Louise Farrar. I'm 87 years old. I came to Patterson when I was 19 years old. I met my husband in church. A couple of years we got married. We had a long life together with 8 children. He was very active in the community. Then he was called out to start his own ministry. And we started in the storefront in 1973, I believe it was. We didn't have anything to start with. We didn't even have the rent. But we borrowed $135 for the first month's rent, and then we went on from there. And we grew, and eventually, of course, we purchased that whole corner there, which was the storefront and 2 buildings. So then we were going to build there, but then this building came up, and we bought this church. 1981, we moved in here, and we've been here ever since. I was ordained, and then my husband passed away, of course. So the mantle fell on me to carry the ministry on, and I've done that as much as I could until 3 years later, when I turned 80-something, I turned it over to my daughter, which carries the ministry on now. Millie's house came about. One of my daughters had a baby when she was 15. People said, put her out, but I couldn't do that. So it hurt my heart when I knew that these parents are putting their children out, because if you stick with them, they will grow and they will prosper. It was placed on my heart to open up a house in case kids were put out and didn't have anywhere to go. They could go there, until they could get themselves together. We have meetings, try to enrich them and instruct them in ways to take care of themselves. And I think we've been doing a great job, because without any help, we've done it on our own. We have lots of products and vegetables, and sometimes we have clothing. And I believe today make about 2 years we've been doing this. People sometimes eat out of the garbage and stuff like that. We figured this would be a good way to help them at least get a decent meal, without being lost out there in the street. One of the women now that's on our board is one of the girls that was put out of her home But now she went on to college. She has received 2 master's degrees. She has a family now, and they are all, the children are a part of this church. That's what our aim is, to help the children grow up to be productive citizens in the community. I'm so grateful. I never dreamed that something like this would happen. We've always had to work hard, and I thank God that I've been chosen. And I thank each and every one that participated in helping me to receive this Make a Difference Award. I'm so thankful in my heart. And our endeavor is to continue the program. I hope that it'll be a legacy of mine, that the young people will carry it on after I'm gone.
We are here with our $35,000 Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award winner. This is Reverend Mildred Farrar of Paterson, New Jersey. You created an organization called Millie's Place. Tell us about it.
Well, Millie's Place was created for young girls that were put out of their home when they get pregnant and they didn't have any place to go. So we wanted a home so they wouldn't have to be out in the street until they could make provisions for themselves, to get started again.
In the video we saw just before you came on, it's so powerful. The community. You've been at it for 60 plus years making a difference in the lives of others. Explain that.
65 years.
Hold on. I'm doing the math. You're, what are you, 75?
No, I'm 87.
Come on, stop lying. This is public broadcasting. You can't make things up. 87, going strong.
Yes.
How do you explain the 65 plus years making a difference in the lives of others? Where does that come from for you?
Where does it come from? 65 years. I was saved in 1951, and I got married to my husband when I was 19.
The Reverend
Arthur James Farrar, and we had our children. We were at church for 20 years at Faith Tabernacle Church on Helen Avenue. And then he started his own church on West Broadway at 162 West Broadway in a corner of Cliffs.
In Paterson.
In Paterson, yes. And that was our life. It has been our life. Raised our 8 children in church. And it's been my life.
So I got to ask you, you seemed pretty emotional when you were up there today. And what was it like being with the other winners?
It was exciting. I couldn't hold the tears back. I was just amazed that something like this could happen to me.
Why not you?
Well, it never happened anything like this before.
Somebody nominated you and a committee voted.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm so grateful to whoever it was. God bless them.
Reverend, let me ask you this. What's your message to others who don't think they can make a difference?
Put your trust in God and give God your best life, and He will help you and make a way for you, and He will provide a way for you if you give your whole self to Him and let Him lead you where He wants you to be.
The young girls you help every day, you try to change their lives. You try to give them a helping hand. What kind of challenges do they face that some of us may not really appreciate or understand?
Well, some of them don't have a place to go, and they don't have a family to go.
Place to live.
That's what I mean. And, it's bad out there in the street to get put out there, having nowhere to go. It causes you to get into a whole lot of stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily get into if you had a little help to help you keep from falling so low. And one of the girls a couple of girls, one of them have gone on to college and have advanced degrees. She's married now, has her own family, and she's on our board of directors for my program.
How rewarding is that for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
You have faith that we can do better and will do better, right?
Yes, I do. I know that because the Lord brought me here.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you so much.
We've completed the 22nd anniversary of the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Awards. Angelica, I don't know, extraordinary people this year. Every year, right?
Every year, but I think that what's extraordinary is meeting some of the past winners and knowing that they realized their dream and that we used the money to help them build a foundation for something that they never expected to happen, and to get past it and to dream of something bigger. And one of them said, I can't believe that my dream came true, that I got a house for the women and now the house is open. So these are the things that we enable them to accomplish on their own.
Let's give people some perspective. While we'll talk about some of the individuals, like the 11-year-old young man who, Ethan, right? Ethan, who lost his mom when he was 2 and started an organization to help others, right? Talk about inspiring. Ethan represents, I actually see him walking over there. You'll see him on camera right there. He represents the spirit of these awards. 22 plus years ago when you started, you and Russ, right?
22 years ago, but there's many other Ethans. I spoke to one who was nominated, who wasn't able to win a prize or become a finalist, but he was doing something that also was inspiring. He's a skier. He loves to ski, and he finances ski vacations for kids who can't afford it. Gets them the gear, gets the ski lodges to give them free ski days, and it's just something so personal. When we talk about it's a gift of who you are. You're a skier, you love to ski, you share that gift with somebody else who doesn't have it. And these are the inspiring Ethans of the next generation.
The ripple effect.
Ripple effect.
Yeah. Angelica talks about the ripple effect, and if you haven't, by the way, go on our website that you'll see on camera right now and look at our past. I mean, we've been doing these specials, and they never get old because there are always new people making a difference. And we go back, in the programming we just did, why was it so important, Angelica, for us to talk to some past honorees who have come back, so many of them? Why is that so important?
Because you find out things like one person I met 13 years ago had this nonprofit giving clothes to other people, and she remembers that I donated my clothes from my personal wardrobe, and she said I couldn't have lasted 13 years without this award and without the kind of personal support and the personal gestures. But I had forgotten that I had sent her clothes, but it's so heartwarming to know that one gesture you made helped this nonprofit to be encouraged, just encouraged.
The other thing Angelica's not saying is that some of the past honorees, actually we have our friend Jack Fanous, who's at the GI Go Fund, the connections are made because I didn't know him until I was hosting here, and he was recognized by the foundation, and we've partnered on veterans initiatives. The connections matter.
And not only that, they grow in a network. This is the unintended consequence of this award. We thought we were just recognizing people, but then they collaborate, they network, they partner with each other, and they partner with you to tell their story. And so how wonderful is that?
It's see, by the way, Ethan, come here. Come on over here. This is actually in the middle of an interview. Ethan, come here. Tell everyone the name of the guys that are with you.
So, just...
No, not all their names. We don't have time for all that. But what's the name of the organization?
EaseBattleBuddies.org. Well,
Ease what?
Our website's EaseBattleBuddies.org, but our charity name is Ease Battle Buddies.
And guys, I got to tell you, how proud were you of your guy today for winning the Russ Berrie Award for making a difference? How proud were you guys? Jesse?
So proud.
It was awesome, right?
Yeah, it was great and awesome.
Great and awesome. Angelica, in all seriousness, we're on camera right now. I don't know if we can get Angelica. Stay on this. I got to ask you something. You see these kids, I don't know, you're 11. I don't know, you guys are probably around the same age. All right, we get the idea. What do you see when you see them?
I see the future. I say these are the next philanthropists of their generation. And that's what we want to inspire, and that they do it as a group, collectively. I mean, this is not just one hero, it's a community of heroes, Like Pino said, it's not for me, it's all of us doing this together.
It's interesting. You're responsible for this, and you should be proud, and I know Angelica and the foundation, they are proud that they selected you, Ethan. And so I got to tell you, we've been doing this for a few years. This is the most unique way we've ever ended a series, but I just want to say thank you to Angelica, to the Russ Berrie Foundation, to all of you, to you, Ethan, and everyone who was honored, the 11 people that we honored today at the 22nd annual Russ Berrie Making a Difference Awards. Make sure you nominate someone for next year's awards. Thanks for watching. Guys, can we get applause? Can we get some applause?
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Delta Dental of New Jersey, the Fidelco Group, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, PSC&G, NJM Insurance Group, and by Kessler Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.